World of YouTube, Table Side here with a couple cases I wanted to go over. I've been on before, but I believe I can honestly say that I did not read nor did I pick up on either one of these names. I could be wrong, but in my videos, yeah, I mean, it is a strange thing, of course, like I say, when you read articles in the past and then something new usually comes up, or they disappear. First off, I'd like to start with, hope everyone had a great Christmas. I didn't hear nothing on the news of something bad happening this year, so hopefully everybody went and got through this Christmas well, and I hope the new year, like I said, everybody, again, has a great start to something new in the future of 2023. But once again, like I said, there's a couple names that came up. And I'd like to also go over one of them. And wow, and the next guy, I mean, two things, main things in these cases did not show up, nor have they done it. I believe maybe they did say something in one, and of course it's the DNA. Now the name in this case, and this is the girl from Billerica, missing since 1982. I did go over this, and something else was mentioned in this case about the girl talking to her father, asking him to check her trunk. Obviously, so they were saying she could have gotten involved, of course, with the wrong crowd. She was a little rebellious back in her day. Say so, a little mischief kid. Obviously, mischieved up until her teens. But to ask someone to check your trunk to see if something's wrong or something might could be in there, right, does seem to be suspicious. But this is the thing with these cases, though, and, you know, people like this, even though they're an adult, I think anybody in their right mind should be taken seriously, let alone should be checked for any mishap that could happen to a person, especially when they start acting odd and strange. But I guess this James Mitchell DeBardelin, I ain't even gonna mention that name. We'll just call him the Creep. Creep 1, and then when we talk about Creep 2. Like I said, this came up on a, I don't know if I got the channel, but it's on YouTube. And like I said, them coming out with new information I never heard of. That's why I do these videos, and that's why I like to do them, because one could say one thing, another could say another. One could be changed, one could be disappeared. You know, one could say something in the line of the truth or something in the line of the lie. You know, it all depends. And I mean, all these articles that come up, especially being online, you can't really, trust a lot of them, but at least they do, try to come out with new thoughts, theories, and ideas, and that's what I like about these articles. It makes you expand your mind, even if it is the truth or if it's just made up. It does make you think and wonder things that could be more, open-minded than when the case opened up, and especially back in the 70s, 80s, and in the next case, the friggin' 50s. So, I mean, this James Mitchell was known to be a rapist. I think he might have raped or killed someone else in another state, and he came from another state to this party because supposedly he knew, the people that were throwing this party, I believe. And, of course, this girl here could have ended up with that person. They found a map of Chelmsford region in the suspect's car. Photos of women involved in sadomasochistic acts. I'm sure that's disgusting acts. And it could be that he targeted this girl. I forgot her damn name. If you look up Judith, that's her name. The day prior to Judith's disappearance, a receipt from a local motel in Chelmsford. In the car, mind you, this guy, as you can see, sick individual, likes to travel, has a thing for brunettes, and that type of hairdo back in the day, boy, was a big, the feathered hair, boy. I mean, I know someone personally that, I won't say who, but I know someone that has this type of, interest in women with feathered hair. Especially back in the late 70s, early 80s, when that stuff was, the bomb back in the day. Like, with the mullet and other crazy hairdos women used to beef up with, especially when the hairspray days got big. But, this guy is in Chelmsford with women and, all this kind of stuff. But he was never charged for this disappearance. He was never, ever, I mean, I don't know if they, besides searching their car, found anything blood-wise. But then again, did they ever get DNA from this person? I believe this Judith was raped. So, I mean, that's the big question right here is the DNA. Did they take DNA from this guy or even take anything that he drank off of to keep the swab to do something? People, one thing they did do back in the day sometimes, and that was to keep some of the DNA or semen or anything they found on a dead body. They were smart enough to keep it. Then one day maybe something in that day has came. Especially with the new DNA testing they have, radiology or whatever the hell it's called. I can't process that yet because I don't use that all the time word. So that DNA testing is a huge breakthrough in cases. And did they find any DNA on this woman is a question. And like I said, that's probably the only thing missing here is the DNA of any type of sort. But they had a killer here, and they had someone traveling, and they had, all this fixation, and then obviously they didn't press the issue hard enough to crack this piece of creep. I mean, and as you read the things here, what this one says, like brunettes, fits Judith's profile, and knew some of the people who attended the party in Billerica the night of Judith's disappearance. So, I mean, what a way to get away with a perfect crime when, you got alibis and stuff. But then again, I don't think they did a proper or even a good investigation on this guy, let alone friggin' just asking those few stupid questions, searching his car. Of course, everything of evidence is going to be thrown out at that same moment of time as the body gets thrown out, let alone buried, chopped up, whatever the hell this sicko is doing. So, I mean, it's just insane to even think, what this poor girl's last fucking, last minutes on Earth was like. And which bleeds me to the next person. Well, then again, what does this one say? It is worth noting that the Dubroving was ruled out as suspected Michigan disappearance of Kelly Brownlee. So there's a Michigan. So this guy liked to travel, like I said, and I mean, to get ruled out as a suspect because they went on to say in that video that, and of course this is what they always use for an excuse. The person got caught up in a bad crowd, the drugs and everything. She probably did something foolish, and it's always the wrong crowd that people get hung up to. Not the fact that there's some sadistic serial killer out there or something, no. it's the wrong crowd getting you rung up in drugs and everything and blah, 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 you know. This guy's been traveling. He's obviously done his damn homework and did very well with what he did to keep himself from getting caught. And it leads me to the next case. This case I got scrutiny on by someone. Oh, you don't know what you're talking about, blah, blah, blah. You know what? I do know what I'm talking about because I take my commentary and stuff and put it in my own words. It's just I'm taking it off from the, internet, like I said. And that's what I mean about these articles. People think that I'm making stuff up or I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm only relating the content in the articles. I'm not doing this off my own free will. I do throw in my thoughts, theories, and ideas. But yeah, I don't do nothing more than, read the article to you or show you it because, like I say, these things disappear. These things change. These things have so many of them that it is tough to keep up with them. And when you try to go find something like I have in the past, and it just, literally disappears, that's the most frustratingest thing in the world. So for people to sit here and, criticize me and what I think I know and I'm doing and I'm not and this and that, well, that ain't got nothing to do with it. It's got to do with what the people write. And I'm just trying to go over this stuff to make sense of it because none of it makes sense to me. And like I say, for what I do in life and where I've been on the other side of the tracks, the wrong side of the tracks, and I've seen things on that side of the tracks. I'm not cover coating nothing in my life. I've been down a rough road, and I've been around rough people, and I've been down some crazy people, and I have been down people that have probably, taken a life, but I've seen life taken right before me. I've seen people drop dead right before me. It's sick. But it's something that I just, at the wrong time all the time. Wrong place, wrong time. And I just can't help myself. But I better myself by trying to put in good things and think good things and try and figure out things other than what's written on the paper in an article that is not the truth, that is not out there to be, mistaken. All these friggin' articles, right? Sometimes you're down the rabbit hole chasing the wrong information and things just get taken into different content and switched around. And it's frustrating. I can see why people want to try and yell at me, but hey, you got to do what you got to do to try and make things right. You also got to do what you got to do to get your own thoughts, theories, ideas that are missing in that case too. Because I always say it, and I'll say it to the day I die, you just cannot go on basis of what is written in an article, especially when they're fake. But you can, with the truth of the real one that's come out, reading some of this stuff and seeing some of this stuff, it's just like, wow. Why didn't they do this? Or why didn't they do that? Or why didn't they search this? Or why didn't they save that? There's a lot of damn things that could be missing in a case. And it's just sad to say. I'm trying to do something here. I want to get to my article that this piece of crap here, another creep. And this guy here, man, I'm just going to run quick through, but I don't believe I heard this name when I first opened up this case. I only heard the other name that's in this case, and he's in here too. But they say that these two might have a connection maybe, but I don't know how, because one's from Rhode Island, and the other guy is literally from like Lynn or something, and he knew the Lawrence area, or Haverhill maybe. He was out in that area, but of course he's tracking down kids in the friggin' Lawrence area. And this piece of crap here said he killed a girl from Connecticut, I believe, or Rhode Island, or no, it was Connecticut. The other guy came from Rhode Island, and he buried that girl and this kid in the same field in somewhere in Lawrence. Now, supposedly there's some building there. I mean, I will put this article up in the description box, but some street, I believe it was West Street in Lawrence. There's a field, but there's a company there now. And supposedly there was a search that took place. And, there's also this guy has been, scrutinized, making up tales. But I don't understand why killers do that. They want to, lie and say, I didn't do that. Oh, no, I did that, but I didn't do it. They want to take the rap for something. I don't know why people do that, but this guy seemed to have a lot of details that convinced them. But, yeah, it's just insane that they never charged him for this murder and couldn't find nothing. But if any DNA was taken, and if they do ever find this kid's body, I mean, yeah, Palugsy, his name is Antonio. I dare have him up on video too. But this kid, man, was at a pool, got lured in, and they do have a picture of the truck, but they had their words and covering it up in the last photos I had. So, but it looked like one of them old antique trucks from the I want to say like 1950s box truck. It looked like. And even that, they searched it, I believe, and couldn't find nothing on having that kid. But I do want to say, when I did read something, and they're saying this is the twist in the story, something about West Street, I could have sworn when I first read the article and got into this story, they said he was... this guy was like, there was a wooded area near the pool at the time. Now if you go there, it's a huge park, I believe, or a baseball field. And the way I read it, don't get me wrong, don't quote me on this either, but it was sounding like he buried him in them woods off from the pool. And later on, it was all excavated and dug up and made a baseball field. But was that ever searched? Obviously not. But, there's a lot of things out there, man, that just happen to be, insanely overlooked in both of these cases. And they have two men that are literally, in that time of the crime and, pretty much confessed to it, but because he said an unknown name. He didn't say the boy's name. Probably didn't know it, but a boy in Lawrence he admitted to. And supposedly that boy of Pugsley there, Antonio, that him boy and the girl were buried in a field together, so I don't know. But hopefully they saved some DNA from this piece of crap. Old man Timer. I don't want to put his face up because I don't want to look at it no more. But he did kill two boys supposedly in the 50s. But that is, unaccounted for because they cannot find nothing about any boys missing around that time that came up. So that's the only thing that's stopping them from, believing anything, because there was no reports of any missing boys. But then again, if they were from a broken home, of course, you're not going to get reports back in them days. 50s was, well growing into the old little gang banging days like boys used to do now. The 50s were growing up in the big days of the gangs, and if you were in a broken home, your parents don't know where the hell you are. They don't give a crap. Because back in them days, if they're alcoholics themselves, they leave you to fend for yourself. So, there's a lot of things that gone down bad back in them days. And to have someone report something, yeah, right. But he claims he raped two boys back then, but of course, ain't gonna be found. So, I'm gonna put the descriptions of the stories in, down below if you want to check them out. New names to me, new information, but the strongest thing in these cases hopefully they saved DNA on this to see if it does anything come up new. Yeah, they're gonna find out what really happened. But if they didn't, it's just a waste of writing on these things. But these these cases dig deep into you, because there's a suspect sitting right there, fat blow blunt right in your face, and you can't do a damn thing about it, let alone saying, hey, this is it. They admitted it, but you need the evidence, and they didn't have that, I guess. So I don't know. It's just insane. Insane. But like I said, there was no DNA taken either, so little crappy investigation there, I believe. Till that next video, opening up, keeping everything real and alive, only here. This is not the truth. This is not me trying to get, royalties. This is me just keeping it alive. And this is me, something new comes up or something was never said before. That's what I like to do these videos in the first place, because if I'm reading something and I don't get something in the first round, and then all of a sudden this stuff comes up, yeah, it leads me to be opening it back up to see what you get out of it. But looks like nothing much yet, unless they save that DNA from these pieces of craps. Until the next video, people, be safe, take care, and always beware. I can't say it enough. Beware. You'll never know when that piece of crap, creep, will sneak up behind you. Bad. But one day they'll get theirs. Ow.